Hi, I'm Billy Ocean, and I'm celebrating 40 years of the Suddenly album. So, we're going to take a trip down memory lane. My mother used to say to me, she used to say, son, sing for me, sing to me. Well, she must have realized something I never realized until one day I realized I liked the sound that was coming out of me. Who's a Caribbean Queen? Whoever thinks that they're a Caribbean Queen, that is a Caribbean Queen. It was great working with Keith. The first couple of songs we wrote was two songs. One was called Lucky Man, and the other one was Suddenly. So we played it to Clive, and Clive said the magical words to me. He said, Billy, I'm going to send you to America. You know, the thought of having to go to America, when will I have to go to America? What will I have to do when I go to America? And I was staying above the office they had in America. It was only a small setup. I can't remember the unique studio, beautiful little studio, very homely studio, very nice people. And while we were there, I wrote Caribbean Queen. Next thing I know, after that, I was at home. I was at home in England. And I was told that Caribbean Queen is #1 in America, but it's very hard to imagine what it's like to be #1 in America when you sitting at home in England. It became a hit. It won me a Grammy. I got a Grammy for that.
And the winner is
Billy Ocean.
When I got the Grammy, I can't remember who was before me. And you know, the Americans are very outrageous as compared to the way we are. And the people before me, they're thanking the cat, they're thanking the dog, they're thanking the neighbor, they're thanking everybody. All I said was thank you and walked off. Well, I mean, after that #1, it sort of opened up doors. Next thing I know, I think I had something like about 8 top 10s in America and 4 #1s. Loverboy, Get Into My Car, Color of Love, and of course Suddenly, and Mystery Lady, Love Zone. A lot of hard work went into Suddenly, but all positive. Once you have the best around you, you should realize that and accept it. And whereas where you're going to go, you have the best already. So that's really what my life is all about. Then the boss of the record company used to be a musician, so he was very music oriented. You know, he did his best for you that he would do for himself. First-hand direct. He knew exactly what was going on. He was very much involved in what was going on. I was working with some of the top world musicians. I didn't have a clue. Maybe I'm glad I didn't either. What they say, ignorance is bliss. I think it's very, not hard, but it's wise to do what you're best at, basically. You know, I think I'm best at writing, singing, recording. You know, after that, the sort of decision of the tracks, etc., etc. I think leave that to the record company. That's what they're there for. And this was after doing all the other tracks. Basically, it was decided that the album should be called Suddenly. Whatever reason, I don't know, but I didn't object to it at all.
I used to think that love was just a fairy tale, until that first hello, until that first smile. But if I had
They decided to film the video of Suddenly before doing the concert. It was in Los Angeles. There was like an audience there already, ready-made audience, in fact, for the concert. I did my Suddenly, and when I saw the video, there was all these different bits of, you know, people in it and everything, which I wasn't totally aware of. All these things were edited in and everything else, which turned out to be a very good video, though. But I did my part, and that was it. Everybody has their part to play basis. So I concentrate on what I'm best at. Oh my God, yeah, that was a hell of a video. I still don't understand it. The characters in it. The characters in it. And it was all like people, it was all like a sort of, okay, almost like some of the characters you see in Star Wars. It was like something happened in a cave or something like that, and there was a girl in it that, I don't know, it was a very interesting video. Yeah, up to this day I don't really understand it too much. Since I've started back touring again in 2016, I haven't stopped. I think next year they're talking about taking me into Africa, which I've been already, but I'd like to do a lot more in Africa. I really would like to do a lot more in Africa. And I'm always nervous before I go on stage, and I hope I never lose that, because I think it's an energy in itself.
We're backstage at JFK Stadium in Philadelphia, Live Aid. I'm Martha Quinn with Billy Ocean. Billy, how do you feel after playing to 2 billion people?
It's pretty amazing. It's a nice feeling. In fact, I'm still a little bit really.
I had one of the, I was fortunate enough to do one of the nicest gigs there was in the world, which was Live Aid. Yeah, that was, that was in my very, this was after Caribbean Queen. Writing songs is like, it's a profession, it's a job. It's a joy. When you write the right sort of song that people like, it becomes a joy. 10% inspiration and 90% perspiration, and really that's what music is all about, basically. I'm very good at melodies. Lyrics, I find it not as easy as say maybe. I mean, I listen to people like Bob Dylan and Bob Marley, John Lennon, these sort of people, and it's like, especially Bob Dylan. I mean, he has lyrics to spare. I mean, I would never be that kind of person. I get there in the end. It's a lot of work. It has to scan, it has to have a certain amount of rhythm, it's got to have a certain amount of meaning. Yeah. Music is a very spiritual thing, for me. It's not just for me, but for everybody. I mean, the process of music is, if you're talking about the process of, singing gospel music, you're singing whatever sort of music, music really comes from the heart. And if you're dealing with the heart, then you're dealing with something that is spiritual. In truth, some songs come quicker than some. Some lyrics, some ideas come quicker than some. You sort of see it. But it's all work. You've set a standard. You're then competing with the best. So you have to try and get your creative juices up to a certain standard, up to a certain level. Anything under that is not accepted from yourself to start with. Sometimes success is a great thing, but that's when the work starts, really. Is how do you sustain that level of professionalism? I came to this country when I was 10 years old, right? And, coming from the Caribbean, it's calypso. If you're from Trinidad, it's calypso. Anywhere else, if you're from Jamaica, it's reggae. So we all have a different interpretation of music. But when I came to England, I just heard a different kind of music. I was taking it. I didn't realize how much of it I was taking in. There was like the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, all these different people. And the Beatles, I used to listen to a lot. When by the time I was about 18, 19, whatever age I was, I realized that, the Beatles were different. They were writing some really great songs. When I was recording, I just had to put a Beatles song in there, which was A Long and Winding Road.
Lead me to your door. Oh, why? yeah. Oh, the long and winding road.
To me, that song is more than just a song. It's like a gospel song. It sort of really, it related to life, the long and winding road, which to me was what my life was all about, basically. You know, having left, my father brought us to this country for a better way of life. My mother and father and about, 6 kids sort of packed up in this one room. My father slept downstairs and everything else. But the whole thing about life, to me, it was just hard, you know. So the long and winding road was just a really perfect way for me to sort of summarize my life up to that stage.
Don't leave me waiting here, no. Just lead me to your door. So I'm leaving me standing here. Don't leave me standing here. Just leave.
No, everything in life you have to work at, my friend. Anything that is easy and falls into your lap easy, you will find that it dies just as quick as it came. Yeah, you got to work at it and nurture it and watch it grow, and water it and feed it, and be patient with it. Yeah, to get the benefit out of it. It's a tree that grows, a tree that produces fruits. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks very much.